here we are in Creator Space. Kevin and Melissa Dessert here, the founders of Creator Space. We are in 1 month of renovation, and we are in the lower level of our beautiful building. And this is going to be the...
This will be the classroom that supports about 40 people for all types of events and classes and creative immersion programs. Maybe a movie night at some point in time.
So if you hear any noise, it's because there's actually contractors working on the space right now. So but we wanted to do this first video, if you will, in our space, and hopefully all of our videos. But as there's more and more workers, it probably may get louder and louder. But it's coming to life. The whole lower level has these beautiful walls. This is what we love about the space. So that's where we're at today. We're hoping to open by the end of April. So that for the art crawl, the spring art crawl, that is our goal, to have our space operating at that time.
Well, I like to think that Creator Space will be a magical place of new beginnings for people, a place to just begin some type of creative endeavor, a place to just come for solitude, really a place that inspires people to create, and also, most importantly, for them to kind of discover something unique and different about themselves that they never knew was part of them.
What I always like to describe it as it's a fitness center for the brain, right? Because it's got a lot of different elements to it. It's not just for artists, or it's not just for philosophers, whatever. It's for musicians. It's for just everyday people to come in, and if they want to just sit and enjoy, the coffee house and do a little work. It's not just for a certain age group. It's really for anybody. So retired people to teenagers to everybody in between. So I think that's what makes Creator Space unique, is it offers a lot of different opportunities for people than just artists. Right now, so many people, they don't have a place to go that they feel it's kind of a getaway, if you will. We're wanting this place to be a place where when you come here, you feel so good. You want to come back, you want to tell your friends. It gets you out of your house, but you're not going to a library or an overcrowded coffee house. There's going to be space. And then if it's something that works out, that you want to take classes, you want to learn something that you've always wanted to learn, you'll have that opportunity. So I guess that's how I look at it, is it's going to be a real feel-good environment. And that's when we hire our employees, it's going to be the same message we give to them, that we're going to get to know our members and our customers on a first name basis, what they do for a living besides maybe be a Creator Space, and we're going to smile a lot. We're going to make it a real happy, healthy environment. I just don't think there's a lot of places like that in the communities anymore. They're hard to find, where you can walk into a place and get that feeling.
We were going through kind of a tough time in our lives about a year ago. We had some tough things going on with Kevin's health, and it kind of allowed us to really look at our life and the life we were living, and how we wanted to live the rest of our life. I was also at a point in my life where I was trying to discover my purpose, and Kev was very supportive in allowing me the space and time to kind of think through things, right? But I was in a funk. I was in a place that I needed to understand my purpose, and I was struggling with that. So this very dear friend of mine, Andrea, says, Melissa, go take the day off tomorrow, go find a coffee shop and just give yourself some time to think. And so I go to this coffee shop, I have all these journals, I have my laptop in front of me, and I just started kind of paging through the journals and just reading what I had been writing. So there was a point where I was really frustrated, and I put my elbows on the table, and I put my hands to my head, and I said, I just wish I could create space in my head. And instantly, that's when the idea for Creator Space came. And I grabbed that journal and that pen, and I just started writing and writing and writing and writing. I had tears just streaming down my face as I'm writing these ideas. And about 30 minutes later, I put the journal away. I call up Kev, and I said, honey, I think I found my purpose.
She came home, I was, at first a little confused because of everything she wrote down. But as we were able to talk about it more, we've always had the notion of, we've always talked about opening our own business. So we've always talked about opening up a gallery or opening up a coffee house or with desserts. And, everything we've talked about opening is all opening under this roof. So we've taken all of our little ideas of the coffee house and the gallery and maybe a dance studio for yoga and stuff, and we're gonna have that all under this roof. So, when Melissa presented the idea, and I thought, yeah, this is exactly what we've talked about for years. So now it's evolved to a much bigger, concept, and we're gonna have a lot more than what we originally thought about. In fact, I'm still to this day floored that we're buying a building with 34,000 square feet. We didn't start small. We jumped in with both feet and got, a big building. So
Kev and I we have no experience in running our own business. And
still don't.
And we still don't. We're figuring it out every day, but the network of people that are coming together to build this has just been, magical. Just absolutely magical. But really the point was that I wanted to build a place where amazing things can happen for people, a place where everybody feels at home, not just in the space, but with who they truly are. We want this place to be a place where everybody feels like home, that everybody feels like they have equal opportunity to participate and feel valued and feel special. We believe that everybody is born with special gifts, and when people can identify them and nurture them and ultimately create with them, that's when amazing things can happen. So that's the kind of impact that I'd say we want Creator Space to provide. And then to add to that, when you get a bunch of people actually creating with their natural kind of abilities and talent, and then you get to build a community of that and get them together to actually start to think about and find solutions for all the problems we have today. That's the kind of impact that we hope Creator Space can provide.
Concept of having entrepreneurs and artists and musicians, have that collaboration between them so they can maybe go out and, create relationships and go and maybe into business with each other. So it's that can be very impactful. We feel that in the place we're in today, we're all drones. We go to work, come home, make dinner, go to bed, get up the next day and do the same thing.
Groundhog's Day.
Groundhog's Day. We called it Groundhog's Day, exactly. Just Begin basically came with the idea of, hey, don't make it Groundhog's Day anymore. Do something that you really want to do and just begin and allow yourself the opportunity and the time to do it. There's a lot of people that have these talents and have, want to do things, but again, they don't have a place to do it. They can't leave they don't feel like they can leave their house, or they got to work too late, or their weekends are stuck with their, the kids dragging them all over the place. You got to allow yourself the time. Goes back to the fitness center for the brain, and just begin. You have to begin. You have to make it a New Year's resolution every month and just keep doing it.
We didn't want to just provide the space, right? But we also wanted to provide the equipment and the tools, right? Because I'll use me as an example. I've always wanted to take pottery, but oh my God, the cost to get a pottery wheel and then all the little equipment that you need. I mean, it's really hard to do, and unless you have the money or the resources or the space, it makes it really challenging to just begin. And so we said, well, it wasn't enough to just provide the space. We had to also provide all the other stuff too. So that Just Begin is important in so many different ways, right? Everything from inspiring people to do something that they've always wanted to do, but they just didn't quite have the courage or the financial backing. So that phrase, Just Begin, is really, really important.
For me, I love music. I've always been a big music person, which we'll have some music studios here, which is I'm really excited about. And I love photography, so I love taking pictures. And that's one thing I plan on taking a class at CreatorSpace. I'm going to be a member as well as the founder here. I'm going to take some classes in photography and get good at it. So really, for me, it's photography, it's music, it's really enjoying what the artists will have to offer as far as all the different ideas that artists have, and it's just so many different ideas, and it's so unique, it's so interesting.
I started out as a dancer actually, and I always had a passion for dance and movement and expression, and I tell you, once you get a taste for having movement kind of move through you and inspire you and actually feel the energy that comes from moving. I know that sounds weird, but moving to music or drums or whatever. So I was a dance major in college. My wonderful father said, got to have a backup plan. So I did have a business major and a psych minor too, just to round out everything. But I guess I have a natural curiosity and a passion for creativity, right? So movement was my venue at first, but when I decided not to pursue a career in dance, that creativity was able to manifest itself in other areas. Started with business, but like Kev said, when CreatorSpace opens, I plan on taking classes in everything. I got to try to fit some time to actually do my job here, but I'll sprinkle that in as I'm taking classes most of the time. But anyway.
And I'm most excited about the Salt Cave, I have to say. The old Salt Cave.
The first time I came home and Andrea says, Melissa, we gotta have a Salt Cave. I said, okay. And then I come home and tell Kevin, honey, we're gonna have a Salt Cave. And he's like, what the hell's a Salt Cave? I said, I don't really know, but it sounds so cool. So
we got it all.
More about that, but yes, Kevin will be a frequent Salt Cave participant. There was a time in his life where we had major concerns about his health, and we truly felt like we were, losing him. And at that moment of time in his life, he felt inspired. I'm tearing again.
You're the one who brought this up.
I know, but he felt inspired to actually give back in a way, because he really discovered how special life is right now in the moment, and that specialness that he has felt throughout his life, he wanted opportunities to just give that to people. And he just, out of the blue, just started doing these amazing things. Even a simple thing like he was at the deli counter of a grocery store, and the woman behind the counter went and grabbed this salad that he loved from the back room because they didn't have it out that day. And he just was so grateful for that. He goes over to the floral area, and he buys a bouquet of flowers, and he bought it, paid for it, but then actually went and gave it to this woman behind the counter. And she just looks at him and is like, oh my God, no one has ever done that for me before. Like, this is my job. He's like, it doesn't matter. This, you went above and beyond, and I just want to say thank you.
As I was going through my health issues, if you will, you kind of reevaluate what's important in life. So I felt like it was necessary to do random acts of kindness for all different things. It's going to be as simple as what we're going to adopt is we're going to have cards with little inspirational sayings, and this is going to go to all of our employees. They're going to give a card to any person they want during the day, if they're coming for a cup of coffee or maybe something to eat. We're going to give our employees the opportunity every day for each of them to give a card to a random person and give them a free, again, coffee or beverage or food, whatever it might be, and hope that makes that person's day, because truly that's the whole meaning behind a random act of kindness, is to make a person feel really good about themselves, and pay it forward, as you will. People have heard that movie or seen that movie potentially, but we want that to be contagious, and we need more of that in our community, and that's part of the feeling we want to have at Creator Space, is make people want to come back and feel special. And
that's just, here again, part of the energy and spirit that we hope to provide here at Creator Space is to create an environment that people not only feel good about what they're getting out of creating, right? But then they also want to impart that on other people through whatever types of actions, or could be sitting down and just having a little mentor session with somebody, or it could be buying someone a cup of coffee. But I do want to talk a little bit about kind of the spirit also behind Creator Space. This isn't just a place to help enable our patrons to just begin, but we also want to create an environment where our teachers and everybody else feels really good about what they're doing. We want to enable them to have a living wage from the talents that they've built and honed in on, through their life, right? So we want this to be a place where everyone feels valuable for the things that they've done through their lives. With that being said, we also thought it was critically important that we also build and allow the community, the external community, to participate. So our goal is that 25% of our memberships are actually sponsored by other people, other businesses that don't necessarily have an affiliation with Creator Space. And we hope that continues, so that we get 20% are always being paid for by somebody else. So that money will go directly to an individual who maybe doesn't have the resources to even pay for the monthly membership. But the community believes that it's important to support creative spirit in individuals, and that the community wants to do that.
Yeah, creativity is important. It's not just for maybe people that can't afford it, but maybe businesses will look at it and say, instead of, a lot of them offer health club memberships, because they want them to stay in shape and exercise and stay healthy. Well, maybe they can look at it at Creator Space as a type of a health club, but a different method, because not everybody wants to work out and go to a fitness place and sweat and have your hour and go back to work. A lot of people just need a place to go so they can get away from the everyday riffraff and stress. And so we're hoping businesses that want to sponsor creators will look at it in that light as well, not so much just for people that can't afford it, but for people that need a place to escape and get out of that work environment that can be so toxic at times. So that could be very beneficial for people as well, and goes back to that part where that'll maybe help them just begin. That's another, everything kind of goes back to just begin. So
I don't want to blame it on corporate, but I think that we have created this environment where people of certain profiles are thought to be the signature to success. And we've actually lost sight of the importance of differentiation, diversity, and not just diversity in multicultural and things like that, but I'm talking diversity in the way that people think, the way that people come to making decisions, or the thought process they use to make decisions. I think that is what we naturally do, right? We all, here again, going back to, we all have gifts that we've been given, and those gifts can be manifested in the way that we think, our interests, our natural abilities, our natural creative expression. And when we can find ways to identify them and to nurture them and ultimately create with them, that's when we start to allow ourselves to tackle issues from a different direction. We actually can find ways to solve issues and problems that actually can work. If we had more opportunities to support creativity, innovation, your mind to expand in different ways of thinking, getting exposed to actually new ways of thinking, that's when I think that the arts become important. We need more artists. We need more opportunities for people to be creative, to nurture their creative side. And I just think we've lost sight of that. And so that's what we want to try to do here. Creator Space is just become this epicenter for creativity.
If you're not pegged to be a lawyer or a dentist or a doctor or a executive, or it's completely fine. I think that's what we've lost sight of as a society, is, people define success as how much money you make and what your status is and what kind of house you live in, what kind of car you drive. And, you lose sight of the important things in life. And, it's funny because all these people that make that kind of money, so many of them enjoy the theater, and so many of them enjoy galleries, and they buy all this expensive artwork. In fact, most of the stuff that has the greatest amount of value was made by artists. And people forget that. And I think that's what needs to be brought back is to let people know it's okay if you want to be a photographer or an artist or a dancer. If your passion is music or art or photography or whatever it is, then follow your passion and do it, because it is generally okay to do what you love and not feel pressured to do something that you don't love and have it be Groundhog's Day again, right? Life's too short, so if this is what your passion is, then come to this place and just begin. We're going to say it again. That slogan's going to be out there a lot.
This isn't just a place for the patrons to just begin, but we hope that it evolves to a place where we can start to show the value of an artist to other organizations, where then these organizations come in and say, boy, the talent that you are harnessing here at Creator Space, I need a little of that. So let's connect these wonderful creative beings to places and into roles that will really help inspire change and diverse thinking. And wow, wouldn't that be amazing?